Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel of Foxes Abroad. I'm Mike, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to ceramic coat your car. And this part of the video is the second time I've recorded this because I did it earlier. I've done one half of my coupe already, and I posted some pictures on the internet, and some of the replies I've gotten back have been quite eye-opening, because people just really don't understand what all is involved in ceramic coating your car the proper auto detailer's way, or what do they call it, auto valeting way, which they call it in the UK here. Several people think that ceramic coating comes in a bottle and you buy it at your local Halfords or like Walmart type of store, or like AutoZone or O'Reilly's or something like that. You get done with your car, you spritz this stuff on. Oh, my car is ceramic coated. I mean, they honestly think it comes in something like this because the bottle says ceramic coating or whatever the heck on it. You got a ceramic coating on your car, and that is that couldn't be further from reality. So, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I don't think that is anything similar at all. Real auto body ceramic coatings come in little teeny bottles like this. And this is what I'm going to be using on my car. DPC brand, Dallas Paint Correction, TMR brand. So this is not cheap stuff. This is $170 for this little bottle, and the way it's going, I'm going to get about 3 cars out of it. And once you crack this bottle open, you got 3 months to use it up before the product goes off after a while. So we got 1 year from the time of purchase and 3 months to use the bottle once you crack that lid. So I'm trying to get all my cars that I want to get done here before this bottle goes bad. And this is a real ceramic coating, so it's got a shelf life. It is difficult to apply. There is a big, long, drawn-out process to this, because once this stuff goes on, if that paint isn't clean, buffed, smooth like glass, you're going to see the dirt, you're going to see the imperfections until that coating wears out. So, then the shine you get, or the results you get from sending your car off to a detailer to have it ceramic coated, most of the cost involved is in the labor. So I mean, washing and preparing and buffing, cleaning, getting it all ready, just like auto body work. It's all in the prep. And then when it comes time to apply the coating, that's like the last hurrah when you're finally spraying it, and it should go very easy at that point. And then you see a lot of instant results. So, but this really, from doing half of the car already, using this product has changed my perspective on what ceramic coatings are, because I kind of thought you're going to be doing small little areas and wiping it off real quick before it cures, because it puts like a layer of almost like a secondary clear coat on your car. So it's almost like a sacrificial clear coat. It's not as durable as the one that's on the paint itself, but it's something that you can mold and modify and keep clean, and it's sacrificial to keep the actual paint of the car preserved. And but it goes on different and comes off different than I had conceived. But I'll take you through that in some of the further parts of this video to show you what I mean. But yeah, it's different than you think. It does add incredible slickness to the paint, which this product does. And it adds a hydrophobic action, which the water just sheets off instead of beading and things like that. Because I wasn't going to practice on my coupe. I practiced on my wife's little Honda. So I did her car, did little areas first, and doing steps like that and learning on that before I took matters in my own hands and started messing with the coupe, because I wasn't gonna do something and make a mistake and then regret it. So that's the way I went with it. Did my wife's car first, so I learned on that, because you can get cheap ceramic coatings, maybe $40–50 or you can get expensive ceramic coatings. Each one has its own, the way it goes on, the way it comes off, its environment that it works best in when you're applying it, how long the coating lasts. Some are like 1 year or 3 year or 5 year or 8 year or 10 year. So this is touted as being a automotive 8-year coating. With 2 coats you can go up to 10 years. And I learned from watching a lot of other videos and a lot of research before I attempted this, was shops usually charge by how many years of protection their coating will give a customer. And the price varies wildly from a 3-year service or coating to like a 5-year or 8-year coating. But if you were to prepare both of the vehicles exactly the same for exactly the same end product or end application of the coating, the price difference of the valet or detail service should only be the price of this bottle. So $50 versus $170, $180, you know, price difference of $120, $130 instead of several $100s or several £100, which the services charge. So I don't exactly understand the reasoning why the price swing for those services is the way it is. And then there's the people that think it comes out of a spray bottle and it's easy to do in your driveway. And man, I'm here to tell you it's different than what you think. Some people rave about it because they think they see the before and after. They don't see everything that happens in the middle. So they think it's the coating that made it shiny, not all the preparation that made the paint shiny. So I'll take you along, show you what I was involved in doing my car, and I hope you guys get something out of it.
Saddle up, partner.
Alright, continuing on with this, I'm going to just try to lay out a couple of steps that you're going to see me kind of going through or talking about. I won't be doing all the steps because some of the steps are already done. But everything that's involved if you're going to think about ceramic coating your own car. So the instructions I got with the coating that I purchased, I mean, it could be different if you purchase a coating from somebody else, but this is what I have. And step 1 is make sure the surface is clean and free of contaminants. So step 1, wash the car thoroughly. They like you to use a fallout remover, which is usually it's one of those products that you can use for like cleaning off brake dust. It turns the brake dust purple because that gets little bits of iron metal filings off of the paint that's bonded to the clear coat. It gets it, removes it, eats it away enough to be cleaned off. It wants you to usually clay bar your paint, get all of the bonded contaminants and the stuck-on contaminants off of your paint. Because if you don't do that, the next step is step 2, polish the surface and use panel wipe to remove residue. So by polishing the surface, once it's clean of the bonded contaminants and there's no bits sticking up off the clear coat, it feels relatively smooth to the touch, you're going to use a polisher. I have a pretty high-end polisher here. You could do it by hand if you have the inclination to do it, but you need to use compounds and things like that to remove surface scratches and imperfections. Scratches in the paint, haze marks from like automated car washes and things like that, and anything you can think of that's you're gonna bring the paint back to its original shine is what you have to do, because you don't want to put a coating on the top of cruddy looking paint or clear coat, because then you're gonna just forever see that imperfections, and there's nothing you can really do about it unless you compound or wear through the coating again to get back to the original paint and to correct at that point. So at that point you're really not doing yourself any favors by applying a ceramic coating over non-perfect paint. So that's the biggest time-consuming step, in my opinion, is to polish the surface. And when you get done polishing it, you use panel wipe to remove the residue. I didn't use a panel wipe for mine. They recommend isopropyl alcohol, so I just put it in a little dispenser bottle. It's 70%. It's like $1 or $2 at any grocery store or something like that. And used quite a few microfiber towels in those steps before I got ready to apply the coating. And then step 3, apply the product with one of the included suede microfiber cloths around the included sponge. So this, if you look at the video that I filmed, I did this step wrong. It doesn't really matter that I did it wrong, because what they're trying to say here is you have these specialized sponges with a little absorbent layer for the coating, and at this sponge here has a what do they call it again? A microfiber cloth wrapped around the included sponge. So what they wanted you to do, I thought these were just like wiping cloths for another purpose, but I didn't read the instructions close enough, so that's my fault. You're supposed to take this and wrap it around the original sponge, because the original sponge I had didn't have this white coating on it. Because once you start wiping without this, it screeches and squeals from all the slip and stick action. It just sounds horrible, and you'll see that, and I apologize for that. But this is the way they want you to do it, or why they want you to do it, because I think it gets rid of the noise. So wrapping it, and then you apply the coating, and then once you do that, then you work an 18 by 18 inch section, and you wait for the product to flash. So I was learning as I went on my wife's car and on my car, and as you see it kind of disappearing and I guess kind of evaporating, for a better sense of the word, you need to use fresh microfiber cloth, and they call it mowing it down. You're taking off the majority, the 80 to 90% of the coating, you're mowing down with a fresh microfiber cloth, and then you take that and you toss it aside, you grab another cloth, and then you finish buffing out that section before it completely dries. So, because you don't want it to completely dry, because then it's a real bear to get off. But just to show you how long this process takes, this is all the microfiber towels that I used just on the passenger side of the car. So it is a pain in the butt just for that factor alone. You got to have a lot of cloths ready at your disposal to make this happen. So once you've gone through that and done the whole car, it says you can put a second coat on within 1 hour of last application, keep away from water. There's lots of other warnings, but the application itself is very specific on how it goes on and how it comes off, and the preparation, how it goes on, and how you have to deal with it. So you don't just spray it on with a bottle, you don't just wipe it off and use it like a spray wax. It's not that type of a thing. So it is involved. You can't just, I mean, a lot of these things aren't cheap. I mean, this buffer isn't cheap. You gotta, to do it the right way, you kind of really need to have one, unless your car is brand new, fresh out of the paint shop or something like that, and you don't need to correct the paint much. But even my car, I mean, no auto body shop is perfect. I have some imperfections in my paint that I noticed, but it's not a big deal because I knew I have the ability to correct them. But there's all things you have to have in the back of your mind before you kind of take the plunge and attempt to do this yourself. You kind of need to have a lot of accoutrement already at your disposal to use before you attempt it. So I guess the next thing is me showing you some of the steps of what I'm going to go through. So catch you in a bit. Alright guys, step 1 is clean the paint. So this is probably a different side of the car than you guys have seen before. Help of the wife to navigate it in and around my tight driveway space, but the driver's side of the car has been coated and the passenger side has not. So you would be hard pressed to be able to see a difference from one side to the other. So, because this paint is still pretty good. It's still pretty much fresh from the paint shop, but all the reflection and all the shine is primarily from the paint itself, in my opinion. So we do have a couple little scratches. I don't even know if it'll pick it up here and there that I'm working out. There's a little one. Can we see it? Can we see it? I doubt it, but I'm gonna be getting some stuff out. But there's a couple little There's black specks from bug poop and things like that on the hood I gotta get out. Yeah, we'll hit it with a clay bar. But once that's done, then we're ready for paint correction with the buffer. So I'm gonna be using my buffer with a microfiber cutting pad because they're a little shorter. And I like using this stuff. I got it a little while ago and it is pretty great. Some people refer to it as a one-step, so you don't really need to have like a rough compound and a fine compound to get all the defects out. This pretty much will work it as a one-step, and I'm happy enough with the finished product, the finished shine, that I don't need to go any finer than this. And this stuff is very creamy and smooth. It doesn't dry out like some of the other products that I've used do, and it wipes off really easy when it's done, leaving no residue. But even in regards to residue, after you get done with this step, you still finish up with isopropyl alcohol with microfiber towels before you're ready for the application of the coating itself. So, and that's kind of what you're going to see me do. I don't think you need to see every little step of wiping the panel down, but I'll show you some of me working the panels, and I'll bring you in at the end for applying the actual coating and show you the final results. I'll try to do a bit of a before and after here. So I don't know if you can see the haze marks, little tiny scratch marks in the paint here. So I'm gonna polish some of these out. You can see some of the holograms go around the light. I will show you the after when I get done. Oh, sorry about the banging of the tripod on the ground. The after when this panel is all shined up before the application of the coating. Alright, you just saw me compounding out the passenger fender, and it's as good as I think that's going to get for me. So I don't know how good this camera can pick up the details, but you pass over to the unpolished part. You can see there's a little bit of hazing and spider webbing, and this is still better paint than what a lot of cars are on the road. This is still pretty much fresh from the body shop, but you can transition back and forth. I don't know if you can check the clarity of the reflection of the lamp as it changes. So, but as good as it's going to get for me, but I have to do the whole rest of the side of the car. So yeah, you can just see the holograms changed. Yeah, there's one right there. See the transition over here is gone. So yeah, so I just got to get on with the rest of the car. So you know, when I'm done, I'm done. It's going to be quite a few more hours, and this isn't going to get done today. So that's how long these things can take. So catch you guys back in a bit. All right, guys, here it is, all polished up within an inch of its life. So I mean, you get to a certain point and you can keep going and going and going and finding every last little scratch. I mean, the paint is so good, it makes the glass look lousy now. You can see scratches, and this back glass is hammered. But I ended up with that glass. Bought it off of an English guy. because the glass I had defroster grids in it, and they were all shot because somebody, it was tinted before, and somebody pulled the tint off and it just killed the grid. So I just wanted a piece of glass without the grid in it. But this glass is, man, this is scratched up. And you hit the water on it just right, and you can see like it has like Tito's chassis shop or something like that. You can see it in the glass. So I get there and really polish this stuff out. That's going to be the worst panel on the car. But I mean, you can see the reflection on everything. But even the light, the drop light there, there's really, I mean, no difference between the panels now. But even still, on the roof here, you get this side, and you get that side that's coated, and you really can't tell the difference. So this the ceramic coating add shine. I'm at odds to say. So, but tomorrow, I mean, I'm gonna get back to this tomorrow after work. It's 9:45 at night. Now I got done after dinner, started after dinner, and just got done now. So I'm gonna wipe it down tomorrow with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm gonna get to putting the ceramic coating on this side. Alright guys, the car is all prepped. We're all wiped down with isopropyl alcohol. Everything I'm going to do coating, every area or spot that I'm going to put the coating on. Got my rags pre-positioned. I always got to get this ready here. So I'm going to try it without this little wraparound rag, because this one has the coating on it. But just so you guys know what it's like to apply this coating without this little microfiber piece on it, I'll show you a little clip here of what it was like before when I did the other side.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I hope that's normal. Alright, so here we go. Gotta saturate this thing up. There we go. Making sure even good coverage. Dry ready. Just gonna go here for this moment. Go back a little bit and overlap where the other side was done at. Making sure, oh I guess, yeah, I missed a little spot right there. Everything covered. I'm gonna go up to this trim line here just so I know. We continue on with next time, because once you wipe this stuff off, it's super hard to tell where you've been. Alright. Got my rag for mowing it down. I'm just leaving it sit for a little bit. It's starting to get these little blisters here and there. That's where they're telling you it's starting to flash. Yeah, look at where I'm getting them here a lot. So, all right, for what I'm doing, yeah, time to mow this down. This is just getting majority, 95% of it done. that. I've got my fancy wipe off rag here. So just see if it makes a difference. And I would call this section done. And continuing on and continuing on, it's going to be more of the same throughout the whole car. Alright, this should be the last framed shot of the car you should see. So this is all, the coating's been all applied to everywhere except the front bumper, which I'm going to get another day once I can get the door open and we got some nice weather. But yeah, for what it's worth, it doesn't look any different than it did before I put the coating on, in my opinion. So yeah, it's still just as shiny. And the other side of the car now, it's the same as it was before I put the coating on. Just the polish is where the shine is, in my opinion. So just wish I had more light in the garage here, but I got what I got. So probably should coat the wheels, but I need to use what I have left in the bottle to do my other car. So I gotta save this first to do that car before I start using it on anything else frivolous. So yeah, she's all said and done. So I can pull her out, get some hero shots, and I'm gonna see it again in another video in the future. But for now, I mean, it's inconclusive whether spending the money on the coating was worth it, other than time spent polishing up the car, getting some things sorted out, little nicks and scratches that I knew were there anyway. So just a lot of time, a lot of effort. If you guys want to attempt it, I'm just telling you, it's a little bit more involved than you think, especially to do it the proper detailing and or valeting way. So catch you guys in the next video.